Hey, what's up? Today we're going to be taking a look at Starseeker Missile Starscream, or as I'm just going to call him, Warrior Class 2.0, because this is the second version of Warrior Class Starscream that actually does transform in the amount of steps the box says. So, a little bit of backstory on this. Warrior Class Starscream came out as part of the first wave of Warrior Class toys when Cyberverse was first coming out at the end of last year. But this is a completely new redesign. It's not the same mold at all. There have been tons of repaints of the old one. But this is a completely new mold, and it actually transformed into what I believe is his Cybertronian jet mode. So that's what makes it different. The gimmick is a lot different. The articulation is still bad, but it's better in the spot that was bad the last time, but it's bad in the spot that was good the last time, if that makes any sense. I'll explain that more in the articulation. But the figure is packaged in your standard blister card with the instructions. However, this is a pain in the ass to remove from the plastic thing. It would not come out for the longest time. It's just, as you can see here, I'm struggling trying to get the stupid thing out of the box. And it's because those two laser guns are trapped in a divot of plastic, and it just makes it hard to remove. But be careful when you're removing it, because the clear plastic, you don't want to snap it. Taking a look at this figure real quick, he looks like Starscream, he looks like the show, minus the guns, they're clear. But the paint job's pretty nice, I do quite like it. We'll take a closer look at the details in a second. But yeah, he measures in at around 6 inches tall, or 15.2 centimeters, to the tip of his wings. So that's how tall he would be, in case you were wondering. It's about deluxe scale. The paintwork is nice. There's paint where there needs to be paint, which is good, unlike the last version. The coloring on the torso, I really like that especially. They even painted the vents and his head sculpt. The head sculpt looks very spot on to what you see in the show, and much better than the original Warrior Class figure. On the back, however, he's quite hollow. The back looks as bad as it did the last time. I didn't fold the cockpit up here, I forgot to do that, my bad. But yeah, the back doesn't look very good, so don't look at it from the back. Now, he does have a gimmick in this mode. You got the clear guns right there. So the cockpit, what you do is you fold it all the way up to the back, you press it in, and the guns pop out. And I like this gimmick more than the last one because the last one had that weird flippy wings thingy. This one just has the guns, and I think this works a lot better and doesn't really inhibit the fun you can have with this toy, because the other one gave it a floppy waist with a spring and wings that would flap around and stuff. This one has a nice solid gimmick that stays together, it doesn't get in the way. So it's really nice, I quite like it. Just pops out the guns. It's very simple and it's really cool. Now this thing can fold down all the way if you like it like that. That's how it's packaged in the box. This figure does look very show accurate, I will say, to the Cybertronian version, because the Cybertronian version of this guy had bigger wings on his back. And it looks very screen accurate from this angle, not from the back. The back looks terrible. Don't look at it from the back. But yeah, the model itself looks really cool. I don't know why I just called it a model. It's an action figure. I'm just spouting nonsense at this point. But yeah, it's show accurate. Paint details okay. It could be painted in a couple more places, but again, this is mainly made for kids to bash around, so you don't want paint chipping and stuff like that. This isn't a Studio Series figure after all. Now, compared to a couple other figures, there's the original Warrior Class Starscream on the left and Deluxe Megatron on the right, and he's a little too tall to stand next to Deluxe Megatron, and he's actually shorter than the original Warrior. However, as you can see, the legs on the Warrior 2.0 are much better than the Warrior 1.0. In fact, most of the paint is better on the 2.0 versus the 1.0. Even the head sculpt just looks much nicer, and it's a nicer toy. Compared to the Deluxe Megatron, it doesn't fit because, as I said, as you can see, it's a little taller and you should be shorter. But I mean, as a stand-in, because I don't think we're gonna get a Deluxe, as a stand-in, it works pretty well. It's just that 1.0 looks like garbage. Now, the articulation on this guy, we're outside for this for some reason. The head is on a ball joint. The arms, the shoulders can move up and down. They're very hollow, but that's it. The elbows bend 90 degrees. The hips are on ball joints, and he has knees, which is something the original Warrior did not have. So overall, this figure, it's pretty okay in robot mode. I like the front, I don't like the back, as I've mentioned. It's much better than the original Warrior, and I would say if you have a choice between these two, get this one. Because it's just a nicer looking thing overall. It's not something you're going to want to pose, but oh well. Now the transformation on this guy is really easy that I'm just gonna not talk about it. That's it. It takes 5 steps like it says on the box, and that's awesome. Now he turns into this really cool Cybertronian jet. Like, I actually really like how this jet mode looks. I want a deluxe version of this model of Starscream, not of the Earth mode version, but of the Cybertronian version. This just looks so cool. He got the nice swooping wings. I don't think we've ever seen a Starscream design like this, where the wings go in front of the cockpit like that. Kind of reminds me of movie Megatron a little bit, where his arms would stick out in front of the nose. Now, you can put him on a Bandai Tamashii Nation stand. The clips do fit around the waist. Speaking of the waist, the undercarriage is like the original 1.0 figure, because that's how jet modes work apparently. They just stick the robot underneath and the jet on the back, but this is supposed to be a simple toy, so I can let that pass for this guy. As you can see as well, the guns do kind of dangle a little bit underneath the vehicle mode, so they don't sit flush. They are at a bit of an angle due to the way the springs work. So if you don't like that, you can always remove the springs, but then they'll kind of flop around. You do have thrusters on the back, which is a nice little added bonus. They did mold in seats on both cockpits, I forgot to mention that. But like I said, underneath it's just mainly the robot. I mean, his legs are on the top too, but they kind of blend in with the overall figure, so that's kind of nice, I guess. But it's still a good solid vehicle mode. Compared to the 1.0 on the left, that looks awful in comparison to the new one. Like, the new one looks so much nicer than the 1.0. I'd definitely still say get the 2.0. It's so much better looking. The 1.0 has terrible guns molded in, the hands are right there. It's just a block of different colors, whereas this is painted nicely and has actual proper detail on it. And I couldn't be bothered to transform this thing because, as you can see by the tissues in the joints, it's very, very floppy and I don't really like it. But there it is next to the robot mode of Megatron. Yeah, I mean, still not very deluxe detailed, but it's a good stand-in. Overall, I really love the jet mode. The jet mode is my favorite part about this figure. I think I'm actually going to keep it displayed in jet mode on a stand because it looks quite nice. From the bottom, as I said, it looks like poo-poo, but it looks really cool from the top and the sides, because that jet mode, I just can't get over how good it looks. Cyberverse, easy kids figures, that's what I'm going to call this lump of toys, have been actually pretty good. Their shockwaves have been great. This Starscream is awesome. Whirl was amazing. Bludgeon's really cool. Just these figures in general, I'd definitely say are worth the time and the price if you can get them for cheap. These guys right now, I believe, are on rollback at Walmart for 15 bucks because they're normally 20. And I'd say, I mean, 15 bucks is still a lot. If you can get it for maybe 12, then I'd definitely say pick it up, because this thing is actually really cool. And granted, like I said many times already, the back doesn't look that great, but you don't display your figures facing the wall, so you're not going to care that much. Overall, this figure is definitely highly recommended. I'd say pick it up if you can. I'll leave a link down in the description if I find it on Amazon at all. I'm not sure if it is, I haven't really checked. Thanks for watching.